they need 12 to 15 hours. Toddlers, 1 to 2, they need 11 to 14 hours. Ages 3 to 5 need 10 to 12 hours of sleep. It's important to take that nap. Ages 6 through 13 need 9 to 11 hours of sleep. So put that child in the bed by 8 so that they can get their proper sleep. 14 to 17-year-olds need 8 to 10 hours. 18 to 25, you think you don't have to sleep. I know I didn't. I remember those ages where I would be up all night long partying, studying, or whatever. We actually, at that time you need 7 to 9 hours. And so when you get to be an adult, 26 to 40, 64, some of us have part-time jobs, some of us have 2 or 3 jobs, we got businesses going on, we got all that. You need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And anyone over 65, you need 7 to 8 hours. So do not think you can actually be your best on 5 hours of sleep. We've gotten used to that in America.
Yes.
However, that does not make it right. That does not make it fit.
As I was studying this, and I say, I'm one of those that say, I'm only getting maybe 5 to 6 hours of sleep through just about every night during the week. Let me share with you some aha moments for me as I was looking at how sleep deficiency can impact your activities. Did you know the lack of sleep causes you to have trouble making decisions, concentrating, problem solving? But this was the kicker: emotions and behavior.
Yes.
From the lack of sleep. I was like, what? It affects your emotions and coping with change because you're not as alert. It's been linked to depression, suicide, and risk-taking behavior. Because when someone brings you change and you're not fully alert,
you can't think
then
straight.
It disrupts your whole day.
Yes. And how many of us do not like change? Perhaps you might want to try to sleep a little bit more.
Yeah.
All that stuff can be, and a lot of this has to do with scheduling. Say if you're, I know as a business owner, you have appointment here, appointment there, times. And sometimes it's good to get up a little earlier, start whatever you have to do on a computer, eat breakfast, rest for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just relax. Go back to your work, stop again at 10, drink some water, just schedule your day. Take a nap. So you work until 12, eat lunch, take an hour nap, then come back and do whatever you have to do and be in that bed by 10. You don't have to be asleep, but be in the bed, resting your body by 10. And you have your 8 hours.
So I know that I mentioned the proper sleep will impact you mentally, but now some of the physical.
Yes.
Because I always say, okay, if you don't rest well, then you'll just be sluggish the next day. So I know I have long days, and I know a lot of us do, as Rosa just said. So when you have a long day, you know that your energy is going to start running out by that evening. But what I did not realize, if I may share also, is that while you're sleeping, we already talked about the digestive system and how your body constantly works if you eat too late and go to bed. So you're not allowing your digestive system to work, to work appropriately, because it's constantly working. But it goes into a rest mode also when you don't have a heavy load on it. But blood vessels. Repairing blood vessels. I never thought about that. And your heart. So that's how it leaves us prone to high blood pressure, obesity. That's how those illnesses get to creep in. Because sleep, lack of, your body doesn't get to restore those organs.
Right, and that's what that rest and relaxation of your body is all about.
Yes.
It's about restoration.
And then,
Isn't that a song?
Yes. And then to take it even further, when we talk about, okay, it leaves you open to high blood pressure, diabetes, and stroke. But it also says that it healthy balance of hormones. Now, get this. The hormones. Now, I knew about leptin because that makes you feel full, right? But that ghrelin, that makes you feel hungry. So, yeah, just the opposite. So when you don't get enough sleep, check this out. The level of ghrelin goes up.
So you're always hungry.
So you're always hungry.
So in other words, you're telling me that this can also affect your weight loss or your weight gain.
Exactly. Because the leptin goes down, and that makes you feel hungry even though you're well rested. You think you're well rested, but you did not allow your body to sleep. Yes. To rest properly. Can you get that? Wow. Hormones even play a part in this, you know.
And, you know, the body is an amazing thing.
Yes.
Like I said, if you don't treat your body well, your body won't treat you well.
And with that being said, that goes into your insulin and how your body reacts to the insulin that it makes. Because if it's never feeling full, that hormone, the insulin that controls your blood glucose, your sugar levels, wow. I'm like, wow. It's just amazing because sleep deficiency results in higher than normal blood sugar levels as well.
It does.
And it increases the risk of type 2 diabetes.
And we talked about that quite a bit last week and the week before last. Type 2 is when your body produces insulin. It may not produce enough insulin, or your body may not know how to use that great thing called insulin in your body. So yeah, type 2 diabetes is something that can change. But you have to change your behavior. Just go to sleep. Get a good 8 hours, 7 hours of sleep. Do your work with conscious intention. Heal your body, and if you heal your mind, your body will follow. What's that? The Funkadelic said? Change your mind, and your blank will follow.
Okay.
Heal your mind, and your body will follow.
But now
so you do some things.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But you know, a lot of times we're awake, or we think we're awake, and we may be sitting in a meeting or at work.
Sleep.
Sleep. But you're not actually doing. Now, I know I'm guilty of sometimes I'm typing something, you start getting that glare over, and next thing you know, you may be doing that nosedive. But how about in meetings? I used to always wonder, wow, people, as long as they're moving, they were fine. But the moment you sit them down in that chair and they start getting that glazed over look, but they don't do a nosedive. They're tentative. They're looking at you. But when you ask them a question,
they've gone.
They can't repeat a thing. That is called micro sleep.
How many of us have had that? I know I do. Sometimes, I did. Now I don't have a job, so I don't have to worry about listening to anybody but me or anybody I desire to listen to. But I can understand that. You just went somewhere else.
That is a nap while you wide awake. Because, what is it? Your mind is here, but your body's here, but your mind is somewhere else. Somewhere else. And that is true. And it's called micro sleep.
I could also give it another name. Sleep deprivation.
Oh, yeah.
Go to bed. Get a room. Take a nap.
Goodness. Oh, wow. You said get a room, and that leads me to something else. So let's talk about, because we're going to hit on that too. Talk about our 4 types of rest. Okay, so we know we have sensory. We talked a little bit about emotional, mental, and then everybody knows physical, right? Well, sensory. Denying one's senses the experience of the physical world for a few minutes.
That's where meditation comes in.
There you go. Tap out.
I love it. It doesn't have to be a long period.
When you close your eyes after hours of being in front of a computer, I talked about that glare, right? And sometimes our eyes get watery, or we think it's just us, and we may take our glasses off and rub our eyes or whatever. Tap out for a minute or two. Just tap out. Disconnect. disconnect when you start feeling your body
Yes.
getting worn down. Your body is telling you something. So disconnect for a minute. You're not going to take a nap. You're not going to close your eyes, but you're going to disconnect your senses from that computer, from that glare, from that electromagnetic, yes,
from that TV,
that tension,
that radio,
yes,
listening to constant information. Stop it.
So that's sensory rest, all right? Now emotional rest, you're going to love this one. That's people's emotions and it's taking on, in other words, you're taking on everybody else's problems, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got enough problems of your own. So people's emotions and take it as your own. Stop carrying everybody else's burdens. At work, at home, wherever we go, we get bombarded throughout the day, as women especially, because we're the quote-unquote nurturers. But you have to take your emotional rest and disconnect every now and then for the sake of your health. And that is called emotional rest. So when somebody asks you, can I talk to you for a minute? You pick and choose when you want them to dump on you.
How many times have I know I do this all the time because of the world that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to them for a while, and then I'll say, you know what? That's great, but maybe perhaps you might want to say this to yourself. Is there anything that I can do to change that situation?
That's key.
Most of the time I say no, and I say, I was just in the middle of doing da 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 da. Can I give you a call back?
And guess what? It's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel bad about it, all right? Because that's emotional balance. Keep yourself in balance.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No,
people always want to spit up on you.
Yeah, that's why I say dump on you. Okay.
I got this issue and I want to talk about it. But they really don't want to talk about it. All we really want to do is share our issue. We really don't want your information.
How about
we don't
that?
want to change nothing.
How about
we don't
that?
want to see nothing differently. Because 9 times out of 10, people aren't trying to heal. So, you have those people that just want to talk for the sake of talking. They're not trying to seek anything.
Wow.
But your time, your emotion. They want to go on a pity pot. Now, you have other people,
And sometimes they have to get it out. And sometimes while they're getting it out, they can hear themselves, and it may help them. But you pick and choose.
Yes.
Whether, you have the right to say, not right now, like Rosa said, or can I call you back later? You pick and choose when you want to open up your emotional bank to receive what they're about to dump on you, because we always want to try to solve it. Mm-hmm. And like she said, half the time they don't want your 2 cents. They don't want you to solve nothing. They just want to get it out, But they're not really
aware of that,
expecting you to give them anything. But then when you give them something back, you've put time and effort into it. And then guess what? Most of the time we don't leave it right there. We end up carrying it with us. And it's here. And we're like, wow, did I answer them right? Did I give them some good information?
Are they going to use that?
And then they end up carrying it.
Well, see, I'm going to tell you, Tiffany, I'm really good at that. Mm-hmm. I remember when I first started teaching, I must have been in my late 20s. Well, I started teaching when I was 21, but around the 28 years of old, I heard one of my favorite people say to me, she was a 2nd grade teacher, had been doing it for a while. Mm-hmm. She was a master teacher at that time. She said, Rosie, you must learn how to let that stuff roll off your back. And I didn't know what she meant, but I'm going to tell you, in my meditation, in my growth and development, in my being in classes for spiritual awakening, detachment is the best way to live. It doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean that I won't take the time. What it does mean is I do not let your stuff affect me. It doesn't change my behavior. It won't make me happy or sad. I'm just there. I learned also the thing about sometimes people spit up on you in a negative way. They're not talking about you or them.